So here is Riot gear at TerraNova, and we are competing in the 3-star short and doing a little bit of preparation here before I go down the center line. I like to do a circle down here, especially with the VIP tents, just to make sure I can have his focus before I go down, and then making sure I'm nice and straight. And kind of each horse, it depends on the lead I want to come on. His stronger lead is the left lead, coming down into the trot. And making sure I go into my corner, which you guys won't be able to see very well. And then we start our shoulder in at S to V. And he got a little distracted in that. But our half passes have improved a lot. He's becoming much stronger and much more fluid. And this again is where I kick myself because the whistle blew and I forgot my circle. This test just always gets my brain. I don't know. I've studied, I've written this test, but forgot the 10-meter circle after the half pass. So that stinks because that is a 2-mark deduction on that movement from both judges. So that was a costly error. Into our medium trot, or extended trot, was very good. Make sure my transition was at K. And into our halt. He was resting the right hind, but he was trying to be square. And then into our backup, which again is probably one of his weaker things, but he's getting better. And then into our medium walk. And he's feeling pretty good, pretty focused. Again, this is a new venue, so it is a great place to have another atmospheric place to ride. So now working on my extended walk. Could get the overstep a little bit more, but he's staying pretty rhythmical. He can get a little lateral on me sometimes, so I can lose points in the walk that way. And into our trot. And now I do shoulder in starting at R. He's a little stronger this way, but I tend to come off the boards a little bit. And then into our half 10-meter circle. And into our half pass. I could have finished that out maybe a little bit more. I kind of went a little diagonal near the end. And then, of course, my circle. And now I'm going to be preparing for the canter at C. And then we do a medium across the diagonal, come back at the letter P, trot at F, and then you're going to do another transition to canter at A. It's a fairly good boy. And now we do our serpentines with the canter walk. So all those transitions happen pretty quickly. That canter walk was really nice. I was able to push him to it. This one I lost a little bit of engagement from the hind end, so I didn't get him to sit underneath. He broke to the trot, and then I was still doing it, and he thought, oh, you mean halt? So lost some points on that second canter walk. And then into our stretchy canter. He gives a little bit. Could stretch more down and out. And then across the diagonal again, medium canter. This can be a hard movement because you're going across the diagonal, but he's pretty good about making sure to keep the balance. Then down to the trot. And now down our center line and into the halt. Overall, I was really pleased with Riot. He did a really good job. I needed to work more on my focus, but we ended up being tied for second with a 31.4. Now on to cross country. And we were blessed with having a live stream, which was fantastic. This kind of caught me, I think I was at fence 4 there. So kind of with Riot, always in the beginning, is just making sure I can get him on the aids and listening. He tends to jump a little bit up in the beginning, but again, as soon as we kind of both get in a rhythm, it works out really well. And coming to this combination, I got in a little close, so I did the add and the 6 there instead of, I had originally planned doing 5 because I wanted to make sure I was going to be up on my time because time was really, really hard to make. And I wanted to try to be as quick as possible. But he is a big dude, and I always have to make sure that we are in balance coming to the jumps. But he's been much better about being focused, and he's very brave. Jumps right into the water and then out. And again, I'm just trying to land and keep going so I don't waste any seconds that way. And coming around to the Tricaner here, he's been a little sticky over some Tricaners, like at Stable View, but that one tends to draw the eye in. But I just would give him a little tap to be like, hey, okay, we need to keep going. And then coming to these combinations, you'll see us here. I had a skinny kind of in the woods there. And then this was a direct 4. And my plan always with Riot is the straighter the line with him, the better. And if you can go forward and just leave him alone, he's that kind of horse. And every horse is a little different. For instance, Lee likes to be held a little bit, and you might sometimes add. But for Riot, you're better off if you can just keep a straight line and keep coming. You see, he has fantastic gallop. Reset my balance. Jump the oxer nicely out of stride. Now coming to the ditch and wall, which I made sure to ride him a little hard too because that was causing some problems. And for some reason, I turned right. I have no idea why I did that, which this cost me several, probably like 5 seconds, and was pretty costly, honestly. Like I was one of the quicker rounds, and I'm not sure why I did that. I rode a course very similar on Lee right before, and I didn't turn before I went around the lake. So not sure. I'm not sure what my brain was doing. But coming now to the rails, I'm going to make sure I have him in a very collected canter so he has the balance to jump the rails on top of the hill, and then holding the line to the corner. He does that fantastic. And now we're motoring along. Again, he is feeling great. He has plenty of gas in the tank, and still just was kicking myself a little bit about that missed turn that I did that cost me a couple of seconds. I've just had a couple of little things on him that cost me the win, as you know, the time was really tight and the top 3 we were super close. It was like just a couple of tenths of a point difference, and so that was a little frustrating, but I'm so pleased with Riot. He did fantastic, recovered super after cross country, and did really well. We're gonna, okay. Well, at least it's grass, so you're not gonna get dirty. Lily, leave him alone. Really, Rye? Rye! Rye, do not hurt your braids. Rye bread! You are a silly goose. Look, had the flash on. Does that feel better? Okay. Well then. Just itchy? No. Oh Lord. Oh, goober horses. You guys are goobers. Goobers. So going into show jump, we were in reverse order. And so it was down to the last 3. So I wanted to make sure I had a clean round to put the pressure on the top 2 and to do the best that we could. So You know, coming into show jump, I have fairly good confidence in Rye. He wants to typically put in a good round. So come to the first jump, he jumps that really well. And then coming to the second, feeling really good here. And he was a little looky. He was kind of a little distracted, just taking him a minute to get his changes. And then I got in a little close to this oxer, and he knew we did, and he kind of likes to go forward a little bit if I'm not careful when he gets in close, and I had to really hold him off that in and out. But he was making me work for it a little bit here. But again, I'm in a big ring, so I'm going to make sure I'm going forward through the turns because I don't want to have time, because people were having rails and time. And then coming down to this oxer, trying to make sure I can hold him off a little bit. And then down to this final line, which is a little spooky because we've got the flapping flags there. So he gave some, a little bit of rubs, making sure I got in nice and quiet there. And then coming to the last fence, and he jumped it clean. I was super happy. We rattled a couple more than I would have liked, but they all stayed in the cups, and he was a really good boy. Felt really fresh and recovered well, and we ended up finishing third, and I was super pleased with him. Really good outing for Riot Gear.